Migrants rescued in the Mediterranean last week say they feel extremely fortunate to have dodged increased sea and police patrols along the western coast of Libya. Last month, Reuters reported that an armed group has been stopping departures from Sabratha in Libya, which has been a main springboard for smuggling for the past 2 years. On Thursday, the Aquarius rescue ship, run by humanitarian groups SOS Mediterranean and Doctors Without Borders, picked up 2 rubber boats carrying a total of more than 260 migrants who had left from Sabratha. Noor Cornelissen, the humanitarian affairs officer on the Aquarius, said it was common to hear stories of migrants who were repeatedly attempting to cross the sea and sent back to Libya.
The one thing that keeps coming back in all the interviews is this cycle of abuse. So you really have this sense of people being kicked around from one place to the next and unable to escape out of that. Doesn't matter how much ransom they're paying, doesn't matter who they're meeting along the journey. A lot of people, they perhaps leave their home country being smuggled, but become trafficked along the way.
Khalid Buba, 58, was rescued at sea along with his wife and 3 children, the youngest only 8 months old. Buba had worked at the French embassy in Tripoli for 5 years, but decided it was too dangerous to stay on after his 15-year-old son had been kidnapped and ransomed. Even though he survived the sea crossing, he said he would advise anyone wishing to make the journey not to go through with it.
The boat was bursting. It was a catastrophe. We looked death in the face. I wept. I've got to a certain age. I was worried about my children. I said to myself, you've brought your children to die in the sea. And that was my big regret. I would sincerely advise people against taking the boat, whatever it might cost.
Umaru from Sierra Leone, who declined to give his last name, spoke a day after being picked up.
For the tube, for the boat, it's only God will make you survive. Because in the water, in Libya water, Zabata, there are plenty of police. They call them the calabush people. When they calabush you, they will take you to the jail. When they take you to the jail, they will ask you to send money, let them free you from the jail.
Other migrants on board the Aquarius said they had been fortunate to escape death, but had received daily beatings whilst detained in Libya. Italy has led the European Union strategy to try to bolster the capability of local authorities, and especially the Libyan Coast Guard, so that they can shut down the central Mediterranean smuggling route, which is now the main one to Europe.
Let me say it is chance of luck. You are lucky, you make it. If you're not lucky, they will calabush you, because there's plenty ship. Let me say I really don't know how to mention it, the submarine, the ships in the sea.
Arrivals in Italy of rescued migrants fell 50% in July from a year earlier and declined more than 80% in August, 2 months that had been peak periods during the previous 3 years. Overall, there have been more than 100,000 arrivals to Italy this year, a more than 20% decline on 2016. The Italy-EU strategy has been strongly criticized by charity groups, including MSF, because migrants returned to Libya by Coast Guard are detained arbitrarily in filthy centers with no health care, little food, and abusive jailers.